Welcome to the Wind Up. And today we're going to try some really, really, really good Rieslings. I'm Trent.
And I'm Jason.
And we're here to bring you on a wine journey that's unfiltered, unapologetically unprofessional. And
our slogan. So our slogan is drink more, try more, learn more.
Thoughts of the day?
Yeah, let's jump to thoughts of the week. So, and it's again related to the topic. My thoughts of the week were around your wine source of inspiration or your wine muse, and I wanted to share mine, hear about yours, and then we'll continue on. The wine inspiration or muse I'm thinking about, it's a bit different to some other sources of inspiration that our friends have seen. We have a friend who I went into his bedroom and he had a source of inspiration. It was a picture frame of Beyonce signed, and next to it was a bottle of moisturizer and some tissue boxes. That's a different source of inspiration. Okay. So my wine inspiration I want to share with everyone is Erin Larkin, and I think I've spoken to you about Erin before. Right? She is my wife from a wine perspective. My true wife was probably not happy to hear that, but secretly at night I'm watching Erin. Right? Erin is an independent writer from WA. She's been on Wine Companion. She's also been part of the Halliday tasting team, and she's got her own YouTube channel. And she's a source of inspiration for me. Actually, a source of inspiration around Riesling, which is the topic and the wine that we're having today. She did a series last year about 2022 Riesling, specifically from Clare Valley. And it really opened up my eyes as to the different types of Riesling and the great regions that we have, particularly the different vintages. The way she describes wine is quite eloquent as well and engaging. She describes some of the Rieslings as laser beam dry. And I'm trying to imagine what that means, but I'm hoping when we try some of the Rieslings today, they're not from Clare Valley, but I'll get a view on what that is. So she's one of my inspirations, and I encourage everyone into wine to kind of have their own source of inspiration. Trent, well, what's your source of inspiration for wine?
My source of inspiration is, you put me on the spot, Chase, but I think source of inspiration is just
me. It could be me.
You?
Yeah.
I think it's more the passion about the winemakers. Yeah. As you visit the wineries and the cellars and to see that passion from them actually making the wines, that's my drive in terms of why I enjoy the wine, and there's the story behind that. So it's not so much about just drinking it, but also the story in the background, the family, the people that's behind the wine.
Perfect. That's my thought of the week, and on to yours.
Okay, so my thought of the week is for people that know me, whenever we have people over, we tend to cook up a massive feast.
Yes.
Just last Sunday, we cooked up a baked 1.6 kilogram snapper, roasted spiced pumpkin with pomegranate, roasted, what else did we have? We had broccolini, probably. Yeah. But I guess the reason why I'm saying that is that the person said, Trent, you don't have to do all that. We don't want you stressed out. We want you actually to enjoy that time. Then I had to think about, why do I do it? And the reason why is I actually enjoy it in terms of using, your own two hands to create something that for people to enjoy and just see those smiles on the faces as they can enjoy the food. We saw today, I know that you enjoyed my roast potatoes. That's semi-world famous. And I think it's a similar thing in terms of how I think about, the wine as well. Like, I really love it how now Jason's kind of enjoying the passion, how I shared that passion of wine with Jason. He's now kind of right into it. And I take out a good bottle, share it with friends, family, people that come over, and they also can share that same passion as well. And I like to see that, again, that smile on their face as we actually enjoy that moment together. That kind of gels us together. So I would see it as, it's not just a bit like wine pairing. We have, wonderful food with a beautiful wine, and then of course, the most important thing is also the beautiful people as well that we have it with. So I think all that goes together. And that's my thought of the week.
That was nice. And for your two, I think you were calling me beautiful then. I appreciate that. Thank you. You're beautiful too, mate. All right. And so that's the thoughts of the week. Should we jump to the wine of the week?
What have we been drinking, right?
Yeah. So for me, again, with Rieslings, and Erin Larkin was an inspiration for this. When she did that episode, she was doing some Rieslings from Clare Valley and then a comparison against Eden Valley. So gave me a bit of inspiration to try a Pusey Vale Riesling from Eden Valley. It was about $20 from Dan Murphy's, quite cheap. And I had it the other day, cooking similar to you. I like to try the wine with some food. So we had a Japanese curry with the Riesling. You know, if you've had a Japanese curry, it's kind of like a thick, almost gravy-like curry that's a bit savory and herby and so forth. And the Riesling actually went quite well with it. The dryness and the acidity cut through all of the fats and the herbaceousness from it, and it kind of changed the flavor profile, made it a bit more fruity. So it was a perfect pairing, match made in heaven. Something like Macca's fries and a chocolate sundae, for example. It's not meant to work. It works.
The fries in the chocolate sundae.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I never tried it.
You've never tried that?
Never tried it.
That's going to be another episode.
It sounds wrong though.
It's right.
It's so wrong. It's right.
That's right.
Okay. On to this week's episode. So as we mentioned, we're looking at really, really, really good Riesling. And where do we find really, really good Riesling? The place that's synonymous in terms of really good Riesling is in Germany. Yeah. And what do we know about the Germans? They're really good at making things.
Yes.
Audi, BMW, Audi supermarkets, Autobahns, beer,
yep.
And of course Rieslings. So in terms of the area that we're going to be visiting with the wines that we have today, it's in the Mosel area, which is kind of Western Germany. And the reason why it's good is that, especially with the Riesling grape, where it really can take on the land that it's in, that it's in this spectacular area that I've never been to, but I would love to go to, but I've seen pictures of it, on like 65-degree slopes of blue shale from the Devonian period, which is about 600 million years ago.
Right.
Okay. So
it's got some age on there. It's
got some age. So they grow these grapes there where they're by hand, because you can't get tractors up there on a 65-degree angle, and they produce these fantastic wines. Partly also because of the vines itself going through that shale, they really start to stress the vines as well, and it then creates very complex and interesting Rieslings.
And is it stressing it because shale, I'm imagining, is quite a hard rock, so you're trying to get
rock
through it,
and has to dig deep to actually get the nutrients for it to survive.
Okay.
So when you think about it, I use the analogy of like going to the gym, right? Like you got to stress your body a bit to actually get the good results.
Yes.
Like if you do a lot of light weights, then you don't get as good results as you would. I don't know. I don't go to the gym much, so. But that's my thought that kind of goes through my head.
I can relate. Kind of, you can go to the gym and do like 20 minutes on the treadmill just at a slow pace, really just to be seen, to tell people you go to the gym, or you can work hard and get the benefits. So yeah, okay, that's a good example.
Yeah. So interesting today, and also one of the things I wanted to kind of call out as well in terms of being in Australia, like what's the difference between the Australian Rieslings to the German Rieslings? You mentioned before the Erin Larkin quote, was it laser beam dryness? Laser beam dryness. So I probably would say that for these German ones, it won't be as laser beam me, but they've kind of turned to a bit more what they call more fruity wines, or a bit more kind of sweeter wines.
Great.
So it'll be interesting. So in terms of specifically the wines we have today, we have from the same producer, which is JJ Prum. We'll bring them across and we'll show them.
So I'll show it to this camera, if you can see.
That's one, and the other one, that one. So they're both from JJ Prum, both from the Mosel, both from 2009. as well. So we're in 2023, so that's 14 years ago. And back in 2009, this is when Obama got inaugurated as president. Right. And it's also the year that Michael Jackson passed away as well.
Wow, lots going on in that year. 2000 seems like a long time.
Yeah. So with these wines, there's two here. So I mentioned from the same producer, from the same year, but the thing you notice different about it is some words that in some German. So for the Germans out there, I don't know whether you can read it. One's Graacher Himmelreich. I don't know whether I pronounced that right. And the other one is Wehlener Sonnenuhr.
It sounds right to me.
Does it sound right? Okay.
Yeah.
So for the Wehlener Sonnenuhr, if you read the label, J.J. Prum's the producer, years 2009. Wehlen is the village that comes from, and Sonnenuhr actually means sundial, which means it's meant to be one of the prime plots of land that they grow these grapes. And Spatlese means semi-dry. So it should be medium sweet in terms of how we actually try this one. And then for this one, similarly, J.J. Prum being the producer, year 2009. Graacher is the village that's actually opposite the Mosel river. And then Himmelreich means kingdom of heaven. So
that's got to be really good if that's the description. Wow.
Again, Spatlese being semi-dry. Ideally, if we look at them, this is going to be slightly better than this one. This is on lower slopes. Yeah. Which means it has better access to water, which means that it can tend to grow and ripen a bit easier, and also drink now a bit earlier as well. With these wines, especially the German Rieslings, they tend to age quite well. So even for these Spatlese, they're saying 15 to 20 years, and we're drinking about 14 years now. So let's try them now, but you could still keep them for another 5 or 6 years, and then it should keep on developing in terms of its complexities as well.
Yeah, and for me, when I typically hear about wine, white wine in particular, I don't think about aging it. I'm kind of let's drink it now. So there's got some great age in it. Yeah.
So I mentioned the age, and the other thing that we should look for as we try these wines is that with the aged Riesling, we should get toast, honey, wax, and potentially kerosene as well. So believe it or not, so things to kind of have in the back of your head as we kind of try these wines.
Yeah, kerosene doesn't sound too appealing, but let's give that a go.
Yeah, I don't know. Kerosene, I get that smell. I used to like to smell a bit of petrol when I was young as well, but...
You need more things to do in your time if that's what you're resorting to. I want to ask one more thing before we taste it. Yeah. You said that this Himmelreich, I didn't pronounce that right, is something about heaven. What was
Kingdom of heaven.
Kingdom of heaven, but it's actually... the lower quality of the two.
Correct, yeah.
And the Sonnenuhr was...
Sonnenuhr, sundial.
Was a sundial. Okay. They've got great descriptions. I would have thought Kingdom of Heaven would be better, but let's see with the test.
Okay. Should we do this blind, or should we actually go for it? Let's do A first, yeah?
Yeah, let's do A and see what we get. So at the wind-up here, we like to drink with our eyes, drink with our nose, and drink with our mouth, and so let's try with the eyes first. And I'll bring this to the camera if it can be seen, to kind of give you an indication on what that color is.
It's like a pale yellow straw, not so much golden, but.
And it's got bubbles in this, and I don't
know
typically see. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay. So that's the eyes, still quite clear. Onto the nose.
I'm starting to get a bit of that kind of toasty honey coming through.
I get almost like beeswax.
Yes, beeswax, honeycomb, beeswax.
Really a kind of thick coating there.
But it's like a creamy toast. I don't know. It's like that kind of has a creaminess to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of intoxicating when you actually start smelling it. It has bit of, like kind of a honey, but a bit of stone fruit to it as well. Like ripe peach with honey. And it's like a desserty type of...
Oh, wow. Yes. Really enjoyable. When you talk about a toasted flavor, I'm imagining those, I forget the name of those really thin nuts that are kind of specks of nuts that are toasted.
Slivered almonds.
Slivered almond kind of
Yeah.
toasted nut to it with the honey. But then there is that
But
fruit.
it has this kind of like cleanliness to it as well.
Yes. Oh, my mouth is actually salivating. I really want to try it. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's try with the mouth. Straight away, that sweetness and that fruitiness comes through. It's like I don't know, it's almost like a rock melon, but sometimes
Rock
you get
melon, yeah, kind of a bit melony.
Yeah.
Whereas with like the Australian ones, a bit more like grapefruity, lemon, citrus.
Minerals.
It's a bit more with the aged Rieslings, a bit more rounded.
Describe rounded. What do you mean by rounded?
It's not as zingy, maybe not as laser focused. A bit more warm.
Yes.
It's like giving you a bit of a warm hug type of thing. It's kind of like a nice winter's day pudding type of thing with a.
Oh, it's definitely warm and inviting. It's really interesting because with other wines, with other whites and other Rieslings, particularly the Australian ones, I don't necessarily get the hit of the sweetness and the fruit straight away. But the moment it got into my mouth, and I went, it was that kind of flavor.
Peaches and cream, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So on the taste, how would you rate it?
Oh, if we're giving corkscrew ratings here,
let's do this one first.
Oh, I'm giving this 8 straight away. Straight away, I've really enjoyed the sweetness, the fruitiness of it. As it's gone down, the citrus starts coming through, and it's not. It's just gently sitting around in the background, like the finish is still there.
Great length as well, right?
Yeah.
And you also, it doesn't say it here, but I know like with the German Rieslings, they tend to have quite low alcohol content as well.
Yeah, I don't have like that strong alcohol
That
burn.
right? Yeah.
That's really enjoyable. What do you give it out of 10 for corkscrews?
I think you're probably bang on there in terms of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's amazing on the nose, beautiful. On the taste as well. It doesn't fail to deliver there as well.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a very special wine. It's not something that you have every day, and so different to the Clare Valley, Eden Valley Rieslings that we have today. That I know that we still drink it young, but it'd be interesting to see like an aged Australian Riesling as well, where it had the same or similar characteristics.
Absolutely, and the mouthfeel is fantastic. Like it really coats the mouth. It's a medium body kind of wine. Shall we try
Number B?
B.
Letter B, not number B. Yeah.
Letter B.
Okay. Color. How would you compare the color between the two?
So I'll just hold it up so that our viewers can see. And then if we compare the two,
I think B could be a bit more golden.
Yeah, it's a bit got a bit more color certainly in this one than the two. And is that an indication of anything, or is that just telling you maybe this is fruitier?
Maybe it could be more fruitier. It could
Yeah.
be a bit more riper. Yeah. Let's try it on the nose.
What? That toastiness comes through on this one. I'm getting more toasty marshmallow kind of flavor on the scent. Less fruity than the other one.
This seems like a bit more fresher than the other one.
Fresher as in more acidity? Is that
maybe a bit more acidity,
zing?
a bit more
Citrus?
lighter, less rounded than the first one.
Let's give this a taste.
Do you get kerosene?
No, not at all. But very similar fruity flavor profile as the last one. It's really interesting when you taste it on the mouth. That nuttiness or that burnt nut that I was describing earlier is actually less
Prevalent in this one.
Less prevalent in this one.
Yeah, I think this one's a bit more less rounded, a bit more fruit forward, a bit more pear. There's kind of really ripe fruits. I wouldn't say grapefruit, kind of like
Yes, ripe fruit because of the sweetness that comes out for it.
Do you get any pineapple or no?
No, like pineapple? a tiny tinge of pineapple. I'd say the other one I feel is a bit more dry. So these are both semi-dry.
Semi-dry, right? So exactly the same producer, same year.
Okay.
Which is a great comparison, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Like both delicious wines. I would say the second one, B, is a bit less complex than the other one in terms of both mouthfeel, acidity, dryness, but also it doesn't have the other flavor profiles that we were experiencing, like that burnt nuttiness kind of flavor that was there. What do you think?
I think they're both really good wines, but two different wines for two different occasions. I don't know. I feel like this is a bit more on the kind of leaning towards a more kind of dessert wine. This is a bit more fresh, maybe aperitif type of thing. They can still go with it. But
so lighter. Okay.
Yeah, I think B in the colour's a bit more golden. It's a bit more lighter in taste, a bit more fresher.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. In terms of volume, in terms of body, I just tried number letter A, and it was thicker. So let's think about Corkscrew ratings then for number letter B.
Yeah, for me, I'll give it again. It's for two different occasions. So I'll still give it an 8 as well. I think both amazing wines, and 8 for both.
Yeah, for me, both amazing wines. I'd know which one I'd prefer to drink more, and that's the only reason why I'd give B a 7 out of 10 and A stick with the 8 out of 10. But both absolutely delicious and enjoyable.
Let's do the review. Sonnenuhr is the B, so the better wine is the B.
Wow.
And the Himmelreich is the A.
There you go.
So I was probably right. The riper fruits in the A was a bit more rounded, a bit bigger in the A, and this was a bit more refined, a bit more elegant in the B.
And both of them going through the slate, but one a bit closer to the ground.
Yeah, closer to the ground and a different type of angle as well, and a bit more access to the nutrients.
That's great. Can we quickly touch on price? I don't know if you know for these, but for this age, what kind of price would these add? Would you know?
We saw at JJ Prum the other day, we went out for dinner, right, on the wine list, and that was like a 2018, wasn't it, or something like that? And that was for like $200.
Wow.
So this is 2009, so I don't know, 4?
That's amazing. It gives you the... And it kind of shows you the quality of it. So I'd be keen to try these against the Aussie Rieslings at one point and see how we go.
Yeah. So back to my thought of the week, it's about seeing the smile on the face when Jason gets to enjoy these great wines and sharing that moment as well. So, yeah.
All right. So that's probably the wind up for us on this episode. Try the German Rieslings. There's some fantastic quality wines that are out there, amazing flavors and a lot of variety, lots that it's taught me. Did you have any other last statements?
Probably last statements is that, don't think that you can't get access to also good German wines at your local Dans. I saw there the other day, still some kind of German Rieslings as well. Maybe it doesn't have the age on it, for $30 to $40, which I think is reasonable, given like the import duties and everything like that to get the wines here. So go out there, try something different, and then do the comparison and let us know how you think.
Fantastic. And so that's the wind up for us. I'm Jason.
And I'm Trent. And
as we say here, drink more, try more, learn more. Don't forget to like, download, and subscribe. Thanks all.
Thank you.